For more on the story now, I'm joined by the City of Tshwane spokesperson Selby Bokaba. Selby, you sent out a press statement just in terms of facts, what we know about what's transpired with regards to the solvency matter involving Dr. Marinwa Makwarela. Just from the city side, can you just lay out what's happened over the last 2 days? When I was sitting here yesterday, the mayor was no longer in his position because of the insolvency matter, and today he is back. Please try and help us make sense of what has transpired.
Okay, so maybe let me just give you context, Marcel, and good afternoon to you and your viewers. How the law works is that there is a bouquet of issues that prevents one from becoming a municipal council. Amongst those issues are criminal conviction and sequestration, etc. So information came to light on Friday the 3rd that Dr. Makwarela had been sequestrated in 2016. And then it was the DA actually that brought this information to the attention of the city manager, asking the city manager to investigate. There were a series of engagements between the city manager and Dr. Makwarela. And city manager wrote to Dr. Makwarela, asking him to furnish him with a notice of solvency. Because Dr. Makwarela had indicated to the city manager that yes, he was sequestrated in 2016, but was subsequently rehabilitated. So all that city manager wanted to know was, give me evidence to the effect that you have been rehabilitated. The city manager gave Dr. Makwarela a deadline of March the 7th at 10 a.m. So on Tuesday, the 7th of March, 10 a.m., Dr. Makwarela could not favor the city manager with that notice of rehabilitation. The city manager then wrote to the Gauteng Provincial Electoral Officer, informing him to declare a vacancy for the Congress of the People PR Councillor, because the executive mayor had not by then furnished the city manager with that document. So this morning, around 8 or so, Executive Mayor Makwarela was able to produce the rehabilitation notice, which is dated 2018 February, the 7th of February 2018. City manager, after receiving that document, then wrote to the executive mayor, informing him that he's going to retract or withdraw the letter that he had sent to the IEC, and also informed him that all the benefits and perks accorded to him as executive mayor have been reinstated.
Okay. So now, according to the Independent Electoral Commission, Selby, a person classified as an unrehabilitated insolvent does not qualify to serve as a councillor. But apparently it's up to the party involved to have all of that information, to do all of the vetting for the people that they put forward as councillor. One would just think, however, from a practicality point of view, that that is something that the city itself, the administrative side of the city, would check up on, so that we don't sit with a situation like that. I mean, would your admin people not have a file on each councillor with their solvency certificate and all of their other details in terms of an HR point of view? How does all of this work in terms of having all of the information that you need to ensure that you know, or that the council or the city knows, that each councillor has dotted all their I's and crossed all of their T's?
Well, Marcel, you are asking a very important question. Unfortunately, there's no legislative requirement that compels the city to do that verification. The verification should be done between the party and the IEC. So I cannot speak on behalf of the party or the IEC, but we are not required or compelled as the city to do that verification. And from what I've gathered from the IEC, they said that they do not have the mechanism or the capacity to do that verification. So they rely on the honesty and the integrity of the council, and they also rely on the party itself to do that vetting process. So maybe COPE as a party should have vetted Dr. Makwarela and others, but it's something that, we're not dealing with politics as the administration. It's a process that should have been handled by both the IEC and the party itself, the party concerned, which is COPE.
I'm just watching you, Selby, as you shrugged your shoulders, because really, you're right. That really isn't your job in terms of black and white on paper, whose responsibility it is. But I get the feeling as we've watched the circus really unfold at Tshwane municipality, that there's a lot of shrugging of shoulders that are happening, because as much as you're not involved in the politics of the side, it really does have an impact on the work that you and your colleagues do as you go about the day-to-day running of the city. Can you give us some insight as to what kind of impact it's had?
Well, look, Marcella, I can tell you that for now, in terms of service delivery, we are continuing to deliver the services. The city manager had a meeting a fortnight ago after the resignation of the former executive mayor, Randall Williams, informing us that the work of government has to continue. And after the withdrawal of Councillor Makwarela as a councillor, brief withdrawal on Tuesday, the city manager again convened a meeting with senior officials and informed us that the work of government has to continue and that we need to double and redouble our efforts. Now, that is in respect of service delivery. For now, it has not been affected, honestly speaking. The issue of concern is when it comes to governance. Because if you don't have the executive mayor, it means you don't have the mayoral committee, and it means that there are no documents or reports that have to serve at council. One of the issues is the issue of the adjustment budget. Now, adjustment budget is a National Treasury requirement that come end of February, council needs to approve the adjustment budget. So that was not done because there was no mayor and there was no MEICO. So city manager is engaged with National Treasury to give us an extension. They granted us an extension until the end of March 2023. Now, we are hoping that council will be able to elect the mayor soonest, elect the speaker. The date is scheduled on Monday, the 13th, for the election of the speaker. So hoping that the speaker will be elected on Monday, and he will expedite the process of the election of the executive mayor, who in turn will appoint the mayoral committee or MEICO, so that all these reports that have been outstanding will serve at council, and council will approve them, so that we don't fall foul in terms of compliance with Treasury regulations.
Okay, that's very interesting to know. Thank you so much for being honest about that, what kind of impact that's been having on the day-to-day running, very important day-to-day running of the city. Now, Selby, you're the divisional head of communication, marketing and events. And the City of Tshwane logo, we often see, some of the best events, the fancy golf events and exhibition events and that kind of thing. Do you think that what's happened at a political level at the city has now started having an impact on brand City of Tshwane?
I think, Marcel, one would be naive to say that the brand Tshwane has not been damaged by all these developments. The brand has been damaged and has been severely damaged. And we as officials, we are hoping that there will be some level of political maturity amongst the politicians, that they need to put the interest of the city first and the interest of the people of Tshwane first. So we're hoping that they should be able to resolve the differences. We hope that come Monday, the 13th of March, council will correct and there will be the election of the speaker, and the speaker will convene an urgent meeting soonest for the election of the executive mayor, who will appoint a functioning MEICO, so that MEICO can process all these reports and service delivery is not affected. Remember, if there's no adjustment budget, let me just give you a simple example. If there's the Department of Energy and Electricity had a budget of 10 million rand and it has been depleted, adjustment budget is about saying, we'll give you extra revenue or funds for you to sustain you until the end of the financial year. Now, that's the adjustment budget. If council There's no report that goes to council to adjust the budget of energy and electricity to continue the provision of electricity. It means come the end of March or beyond March, we won't be able to provide electricity to our people. So that's the impact that the challenges of council would have on service delivery. And we're hoping that councillors really would put their differences aside and put the interest of the city, the employees, and the residents first.
Indeed. Thank you so much. That is the City of Tshwane spokesperson, Selby Bokaba, speaking to us virtually. And we thank him so much for his transparency and his honesty in answering those questions in what sounds like a very difficult political situation in the city right now.